Welcome to My Last Best Friend podcast. I'm here with Jeffrey fucking Dahmer today.
You wish I was Jeffrey Dahmer. It doesn't matter. We're going to see Barbie.
We're going to go see it. Yeah, I know.
Oppenheimer Barbie is, we're going to wake up in the morning at 8:30 in the morning. We're going to smoke 3 packs of cigarettes. We're going to have a morning cup of coffee. We're going to go to the theater. We're going to watch Oppenheimer. And then
at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m. After the movie gets done, we're going to go to brunch. We're going to have mimosas. And we're going to go back to the movie theater to watch Barbie. And then after Barbie, we're going to get drinks. That's going to be our routine.
I'm sold.
For
Oppenheimer any kind of planning like that, I'm sold.
It'll be a long day, but it's going to be a beautiful day too.
What do you think it is that like gets you so interested and so excited about murderer shows?
What a fucking flip.
I'm sitting here looking at the glasses and I feel like you're going to kill me a little bit.
All you see, Dahmer.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think for me it's like the thrill of them like finding the murderer and like
honestly there's something about the gore in there in that head that you're like you just love. There's way too many moments where you're like and you'll just turn your phone to me and I'm like, we are in public. I can't be looking at this right now.
Dude, it's got to give you a reference. It was literally after the show Dahmer came out, I was scrolling through. I was reading this article, and they had.
I got worried he was gonna be like a follow up one.
No. All right, after Dahmer came out, I was reading this article about Jeffrey Dahmer, and in this article had the actual pictures of his victims, like of the Polaroids and everything. And I showed Alex while we were at a bar, and he's like,
"I'm terrible with blood. I don't like any of that. I don't like murderer shows. I'm not into any of that." And he shows me in public when I'm having a good time drinking, and he's just like, it's just a total like mood kill. Everyone's like, "Hey, dude, not the time."
It's very ironic. Now I'm drinking a Monster
because you are a monster.
I don't know why I like him. My favorite one, I will say, is the Netflix John Wayne Gacy documentary is my favorite. But it's just the storytelling of how like they laid out everything of like how he killed people. That sounds really fucked up.
Yeah, you're not helping your case right now.
That was a really bad way of putting it.
You're like, I really just like learning the steps that they take to, like kill people. I really like, like being able to like get the in-depth details on how they do it, so that like when I do mine, like it's gonna be so much better.
For the record, I am not a serial killer. But if there was gonna be one person I was going to kill, it'd be that guy right across the way.
I fucking know. Yeah.
Oh god, you'd be my first victim. Like what happened to Alex? I don't know.
At least I wouldn't have to see it coming. I've seen you chase me with a taser, and it was the most excited I've ever seen you in your life.
Inflicting pain on you just brings me so much joy.
You just walked in and you're like, zzz, and I'm like, dude, stay away from me. And you're like, no.
The other thing is too is that. Okay, no, I'm going to stop there.
Yeah,
I was going to take myself into a bigger hole. I was going to say my car.
Like where you're going to put the bodies?
No. I'm thinking myself into a hole.
Yeah. I don't know where because we love Stranger Things. We love all the movies that we love. But when it comes to TV shows, you're like really into you really like documentary type stuff, which I think comes from your dad, just watching him so much.
I think for me, why I like documentaries so much is because I used to watch surfing and snowboarding documentaries all the time, and I've always wanted to make one like that. And
I can overlap with documentaries as long as it's not like murder, gore, like plane accident, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like then I can.
I think for me, it's just that TV shows are so hard for me to get into because I love seeing a beginning and end in a short amount of time.
But like the Apple TV shows that I watch, because I wouldn't say that I'm sitting there watching The Office or stuff like that. The only show that I've actually finished start to finish all the seasons other than Stranger Things is Suits.
Oh yeah,
but
you got my dad into it.
Yeah,
that dude binged all 9 seasons.
I thought I was going fast, and because I watched it in 3 weeks,
4
weeks. No, probably 4 weeks.
How many?
Maybe even more than that. Yeah.
How many seasons are in
9
Suits?
seasons. It's well over 100 episodes.
Yeah, you got my dad into Suits, and I've never seen a person binge through a show faster than my dad. He went through 9 full seasons in, I'm not joking, probably a week and a half. Like he would wake up at 9 a.m., have his breakfast, sit down. From 9 a.m. to about 3 a.m., he would be binging the show. And he was so infatuated by the show. He was like, I love this show. I love everything about it.
It's because like so it does do a really good job of like taking a character and you feel like you know the character or whatever, and then like it develops well.
Yeah.
Like, but
I didn't.
that's still crazy because I remember he also watched that 100 that was like a 100-episode series, and we thought that was a big series, and he did that in like 2 days or 3 days. But
going back to Suits, I didn't know that one lawyer, the lady lawyer that falls in like love with
the royal.
I can't
remember her name, but she's married to Prince Harry.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was like
Meghan Markle. There we go.
Yeah, Meghan Markle. Yeah, I didn't know Meghan Markle like was in Suits, and then now she's married.
That's where she met him. That's my mom. That's her favorite fun fact. Whenever I'd put on the TV show, she'd be like, "Did you know?" And I'm like, "I did." Yeah.
Wait, that's how they met on the show?
She was filming Suits, and
in UK?
He came. No, I think it was in New York, but he came to New York and was like just touring the studio or something like that, and then they just met and started talking, and then he was like, do you want to get dinner or something like that? And then it was like a big thing where they were getting followed around in taxis and stuff like that, like having to like hide because like he has so much press that follows him around.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's so funny.
But anyways, that show, like as stupid and like soap opera-y as it can kind of like come off with at first, like TikTok made me invested enough in the show to watch it because it was so big on TikTok.
Remember all the TikTok clips? Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. And then I remember you said something about that TikTok literally made Netflix like want it, and they put
100%.
They literally put Suits onto Netflix now, and
then it was like #1 show in the USA for like 3 weeks in a row.
It just shows you the power of TikTok is literally it's crazy.
And it immediately like I saw that coming like 3 weeks before Netflix did it.
The most TikTok clips I saw for like TV shows was Young Sheldon, like it's a spinoff of Big Bang Theory.
I didn't get that one. Okay, yeah.
And then Suits. I remember seeing that one. I remember the one I remember getting introduced to Suits was when the guy was having a panic attack.
Oh, see, the one that I still to my day get on my feed all the time is like the one where he like recites the bar textbook or the pick any page and then he does it. Like that's the one that like made me look into the show because I was like, okay, what show is this? Because I remember there's another show, White Collar. That I used to see advertisements for. Still never seen it. Don't care to. Like, not interested in it. I thought that's what the show was for the longest time. And it blew my mind that a show that good could have been on TV for like forever. And I had never watched a single episode of it. Had no clue what it was until TikTok. And then TikTok brought it to my attention, like after they'd been filming it for 10 years.
Yeah.
And so
I think I would rather prefer to see a show after all the episodes have come out.
100%.
Yeah, versus like having to wait for a new season, like a Stranger Things, for example. You know, it came out when we were in our late teens, early 20s, and then now it's like the biggest show out there. And then now it's like for me, like waiting for season 5. Like I love season 4 so much that like season 5 now is like taking 10 years. But at the same time, like they gotta write it, they gotta film it, all that stuff. Makes sense. But I'd rather become a fan of Stranger Things after the math.
Well, and like the thing that Apple TV does that I really hate, because they have a lot of shows that I end up watching. I'd say like most of the shows that I like, if I do watch a show, because I'm not a big show person, not a huge like TV person. I usually watch YouTube if I'm watching anything.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to my point. Apple TV shows come out every week on like a Wednesday or come out every week on a Friday. And I like to binge my shows like a movie. Yeah. I like to just like watch them and then have it end. I want to know how it started, and then how it ended.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to wait a week in between watching shows, because what happens is I lose interest in it before I finish the show.
Oh yeah.
And so I'll get 4 episodes in and then I'll just like change directions.
That's why I think what they should do is like they should
just drop them at once,
or at least drop half the season first and then half the season later. Or because that's the thing is too, is like for me, if you just drop 1 episode, that's it, then I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to be interested in it because I don't know any of the story, especially if it's a brand new show.
Well, I've been interested in. I'm like, there's one on Apple right now with Idris Elba. Is that his name? I really like that show, but it's like, again, I'll watch an episode and I'm like, okay, I do like this show. And then a week goes by and I almost just don't watch it. I almost don't click on it because I'm like,
I'm already lost.
it's so much work to watch one episode and then I'm going to get like
Then I'm
brought
gonna
back
forget.
into it. And then like, you forget pieces of it. Like it's so much better of a watching experience. Like that was a cool thing about Suits is like you watch an episode and the story will pick up the next episode where it left off. Like it does. It's not like a Criminal Minds or whatever those like murder shows were.
Oh, where it's like a
well,
new case.
Yeah.
New
It's the
case
same
episode.
thing. So it still picks up from where they left off in
Yeah.
Suits, which I really liked. And it makes it so like when you binge watch it.
It's like
like-
consecutive.
Yeah, exactly. It makes like one big movie.
See, I would just rather watch a movie.
Oh, 100%.
Beginning
But
to
like,
cram it in 3 hours.
but I feel like there's a lot of money that goes into shows because a lot of people don't have time to sit down and watch a movie, you know, like every night, but they can watch an hour-long episode of a show.
Yeah.
And so like a lot of the big budget stuff does end up in shows and you miss out on a ton of good like film if you don't watch a show. If you just like limit yourself to movies, which is that's what sucks because if everything could just be in a movie and I could just say we just don't have TV shows, sign me up.
Yeah.
Like I'm totally interested in that.
Are you excited for Oppenheimer for a 3-hour film?
I don't actually know because I love Christopher Nolan, but that's because of Interstellar. But I've also seen some Christopher Nolan snooze fests.
Oh, like your Inception.
Like I've tried to finish Inception probably like over 10 times, and I've sat through it all, but I wouldn't say I paid attention to it when I finished it. And then the times that I've paid attention, I probably made it like, you know, like almost 2 hours, like probably 80% of the way through. And then Tenet, dude, I watched that movie and I'm like, I don't know what happened. I have no clue what I just watched. It was so fucking confusing.
I've watched Tenet 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
And even in the 3 times of that movie, I still don't really understand it all. It's so like, it's just, there's the time spacing and like the time going backwards and forwards. It's just too confusing for me to like keep track.
Like I think it's a cool idea
Yeah.
on like how to set up a movie, but I don't think that like the story was thought out well enough.
Yeah.
Like because you don't really like feel that invested into the character other than really the only time that they really like continuously follow the story is with the bad guy.
Yeah.
And in the main character, it like picks up in a spot and then it just gets really confusing it's like some action scene with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes back to the bad guy and then you get a storyline and a plot line between him and his wife, girlfriend, whatever it is, whatever she is. And so anyways,
I don't know.
Yeah. So I didn't care for that movie too much. So I think Oppenheimer is going to be good, like really good, but I also don't think it's going to be like one of my top favorite movies. Like I think I'm just going to really like the quality of it. But that's the same thing. So there was this movie that came out, I want to say like 3 or 4 years ago. It was a war movie. It was called 1917.
Oh yeah.
Do you watch that?
I didn't see it.
It's not where like it's not like I'm not a big war movie person, but it was a really cool watch for the reason that they shot it to make it look like the camera never had a take.
Yeah,
so the camera never stopped moving.
Yeah.
And so it's like it's just flowing around the whole time. And so you notice it like probably 10 minutes in, you're like, I feel like I'm the person, like I'm the camera following them. Like I'm just walking next to them the whole time. It's like, because it's like, it just shows the whole time. Like because it never cuts, you never feel like you're watching. You feel like you're part of it. So that's kind of cool. Just wish the movie was about something other than like an old war. But, yeah. So, I mean, like, and I think that's kind of what they're going for with Oppenheimer. Cause I saw on a thing that like, there's no CGI in Oppenheimer.
Which I think Oppenheimer with having no CGI is going to be like the coolest thing because that means they actually recreated the atomic bomb. Probably a smaller one.
Yeah, small scale.
A small scale, but they probably did miniaturize everything and stuff like that. But I think we talked about this a little while ago that the thing about Oppenheimer, which kind of like worries us a little bit, like we love Christopher Nolan, we love like most of his movies. The only thing is about the Oppenheimer, it's based on a true story, and Christopher Nolan's films is like all from like him and his brothers, like mine, like him writing it, and it's a completely different story. This one's like, this is history. This is completely different, and that kind of worries me a little bit. But at the same time, like
it's a star-studded cast, and like there's like it's gonna be a good movie, but like when it's based on a true story, I feel like you lose like a wow factor that you can get from like other movies that like they make stuff up that you just can't expect.
Yeah.
You know, like it's like when it's like realistic. Go ahead.
Yeah. But I think at the same time, what's going to make this movie so big is like, this is like a huge moment in, you know, especially war history and like, you know, our country and everybody's and like all that stuff. But I think knowing Christopher Nolan, I think he's going to do a very, very good job with this. But I think that Oppenheimer won't do as good as Barbie because Barbie's such a bigger thing, and it's also more tailored towards kids. So parents are going to bring their kids, you know, the whole squad. Where Oppenheimer is a rated R film, so I think Oppenheimer will not outshine Barbie, but it will have a higher score of like approval versus Barbie.
If I'm being honest, the movie I'm most excited to go see is Mission Impossible. And I know that like, and that is totally like a thing where there's a bad guy that appears just from news people or whatever on that, and then by the end of it, they defeat the bad guy.
Yeah,
it's the same thing every time.
It's just the stunts,
but it's just the experience of watching those in theater. It's like, I don't even know what
Top
it would.
Gun.
It's like Top Gun. Like it's like if I don't see a Mission Impossible in theater, I don't care.
Yeah,
like I'm no longer interested in it. But it's like it's how they shoot it, and like, you know, like it's the stunts, and it's the like it's the crazy plot. You know, like it's like you like because you don't get invested in the movie. You just watch it and you're like, dude, whoa.
I think for me, it's like it's this what makes Mission Impossible good, as well as like what made Top Gun good was that it's not a stuntman doing all this stuff. It's like actually Tom Cruise doing these stunts, and this is what makes like me want to go see the movie more because it's actually the actor doing this stuff and showing him like how badass he actually is versus just like watching a stuntman do this. Because like I bet you that Mission Impossible wouldn't be as good if Tom Cruise didn't do these stunts himself.
Like I think what makes him such a big actor is just because like he just totally like drops everything in his life for the role that he's doing and then like really commits to it. And so it's like when somebody's like giving that much effort into it, it's kind of like hard not to like really like what they do with it. And I mean even, and I don't even really remember the movie that well, I'm sad to say, but it's Heath Ledger with the Joker.
I literally was thinking the same thing.
Like where it's like he invested so much into it that's why everyone thinks he's the best Joker.
Yeah, because he literally committed like so hard to the role, and like he like dove super deep into the role.
Yeah, he made himself crazy for the role, but then actually made himself crazy in real life.
And that's like they call that method acting. And the one thing about method acting is that, you know,
not everybody can do it.
Not everybody can do it and then come back from it.
Yeah.
You know, that's the other thing too. There's some people that can method act and can do very, very well. And then there's some people that can method act, but they become that personality.
Well, and some people do it and they become the wrong person. I feel like you know, like you also have to like be able to like become the person.
Yeah.
But have it be the same person that the director wanted it to be.
Yeah.
Not be who Johnny Actor wanted it to be, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely excited for Mission Impossible. I think for me it's Oppenheimer is my number one, like still my number one. I'm excited to see that hasn't come out yet. Mission Impossible. I do want to see Barbie for like the kicks and giggles for it. Like it's just like,
I'm gonna be honest, that one I'm just going because we're all going, and it's like if it's good and it surprises me, like cool.
I'm just going for Margot Robbie.
Yeah, it's got a big cast again, like that. Yeah, same. But so I mean, I'll go for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. And I don't even know what else is coming out after that. I know Blue Beetle's coming out.
What?
The DC character Blue Beetle.
Don't care.
Yeah.
DC don't. Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not really excited about any DC stuff until James Gunn releases the new Superman, and like that's when he like reboots his thing. But until then, I don't care.
I don't even get excited about Marvel movies anymore.
No, I don't get excited about Marvel movies either. I think that they've lost their spark. The one that still has their spark is what's it called? Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That one was like, it showed us that the Marvel still has their spark, but they have to put
they commercialize Marvel too much, and they're like, let's just get these pumping out regularly because they're such money grabs, that it's like they stopped trying to like
make them good.
Yeah.
And
I also think that's, you want to know the honest take? I think if Stan Lee was around, I don't think it's like that.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that I think that Marvel wanted to do the multiverse saga, and it crumbled in front of them. Like they ultimately failed to the multiverse saga because they had the Infinity Saga, which did amazing, and then they made this multiverse saga, which Doctor Strange, I think, or no, Shang-Chi kicked it off, and then Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which was such a letdown. I'm so excited for that one, and then Thor: Love and Thunder, and it was just like. And then Spider-Man: No Way Home was was a really good one because it's just nostalgia. But I think it's just like they've been having so many misses and flops that they're really just not, they just don't know what to go from here. And after COVID, they had all these like backlog shows, and they were just like, we need to get stuff out because we're just delaying everything. And then they just pumped out crap.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I think also like Disney Plus screwed with it too, because they had to like figure out a way to make people get forced to watch shows, and I'm just one of the people that I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna watch a Marvel TV show. That's not how I want to watch I want to watch a superhero movie, and then finish it, because if I don't like it, I only want to be committed for 2 hours.
Yeah, I really wish they did not make
Marvel TV shows. I agree.
I wish they would have just kept it exclusively to theaters and theaters only. And if they wanted to do like animated stuff, they could definitely do animated stuff on Disney Plus. But when it comes to like the live action stuff, keep it to the movies, because then that's just gonna bring in. You're spending more money on stuff that we don't really care about.
You're forced to like have a certain level of quality in the story writing and the filming and everything, because it's going to go to a theater and it has to sell.
Yeah.
Versus if it's on a streaming service, somebody could just accidentally click it, and it's like, and also there's just like, it's going to stay up there. It's not going to go out of theaters. Like, it's going to be on your streaming service forever.
Yeah.
So they can spend less money on it, and no matter what return they get on it, it's a little bit more of a safe play.
And that's the other thing too, is that if they would have kept Marvel off of Disney Plus, more people would go see the movies because they're exclusive to theaters. And that's the problem that they're having, is that they can go watch these movies on the streaming service, and but the thing is, like, now you're having all these TV shows come out. People don't want to go to the theaters, so they'll just wait for it to come to streaming service.
They even like Avatar. They put Avatar on Disney Plus so fast after it came out.
Yeah.
And that one, like, you want to talk about
they just came out recently. It came out. Avatar was in theaters in December, and then it came out like just a couple months ago.
I don't know. I feel like they put it on there. Like, they gave it time, but I think if they would have waited longer, like Avatar, I still think is in theaters. Or maybe it finally just went out, but it stayed in theaters for forever, and people were still going to see it. And it's like, that's one of those ones that if they really held off from releasing it on streaming services and on DVD, I think they could have even got more money out of it. And
I was watching this interview with, I think it was Matt Damon said this, that if your movie in the movie theaters flopped, it was okay, because you had the DVD sales, and the DVD sales, like, remember, like Blockbuster, Hollywood Video, those, or just like, buying a DVD as well, everybody got a profit off that. So they could literally, you could have a DVD success story where your movie flopped in the theaters, but you would have this DVD just spike in sales, and they would literally go out. And so, like, that's the thing, is like, I think it was.
What do you think the biggest flop movie that ever came out was?
I think they just
because I know The Machine flopped, but that's not a big movie.
I think I heard the new Indiana Jones was one of the biggest flops, because they spent so much money on it, and they only made a certain amount of money back on it, and it wasn't a lot.
And that's 100% because of reviews, I think. Yeah, because they got terrible reviews right away, which is why we didn't go see it, I think. Right? I've never been a really big Indiana Jones fan. I'm a big Harrison Ford fan, but I'm not a big Indiana Jones fan. I'm just not anything that's related to like
I'm not really a big samurai. I'm not big, very like, knights in armor or
That's
like,
not any of that. Yeah.
or like or just like, Indiana Jones adventure. I'm not really about that.
Yeah. I didn't watch Uncharted either.
Yeah,
Which is kind of like, it's like an adventure movie. But I agree with you. I'm not a big sword person or leather or any of that. But
yeah, I'm not a big like. I don't like swords. I don't
hate
like
fucking Harry Potter stuff where
I don't
people
like
are like
wizards.
half donkey, half person or whatever.
Narnia.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I heard they're rebooting Harry Potter and they're rebooting Narnia. The one movie I will say I'm excited for is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but it's a reboot and it's a animated version.
Yeah.
You know what I've been realizing? I think I've been enjoying more animated movies than I have live action movies lately. And
I don't like really, dude. My favorite types of movies are just like thriller dramas. Like suspenseful movies. But drama is in like they're
give me an example.
Well, like think about like Interstellar or like I can't think of stuff off the top of my head, but like, and this is not one of my favorite movies, but just like to give you examples, like Prisoners or like they don't get murdered, I don't think.
I'm kidding.
But like anything that's like I really like movies that are like suspenseful, but then like realistic enough, like they don't have animated turtles in them.
All right, let's wrap this shit up.
Alrighty, sir.
My back's sweating.
Yeah.
My like stuck to the chair. All right, till next time, everybody. Thank you for watching My Last Best Friend podcast. We will see you guys next time. All right, we're gonna fucking.